Here we are with Richard Dorfmeister. We are outside the Blue Note Club in Campobasso. And Richard, you come from Vienna and you started playing 20 years ago. In this span of time, can you tell us what's the worst aspect in being in the music business and the best aspect in being a musician, a real musician? If you can draw a balance now.
Well, it's definitely a pro balance. It always has been. Otherwise, I would have not continued to do that. But just it was always a very much pro balance. So the bad things were perhaps that you are physically. It's a heavy physical job with all the traveling stuff and staying up late, perhaps. But at the end, it's just a learning process. And the older you get, the better you are. It's what I see. And it's a youth business. It has to do with youth and kids and somehow in some way. And this you have to balance as well somehow. But music-wise, just from the inspiration itself, that you can refresh yourself all the time music-wise, because you have to, with either DJing or setting up a new show, or just solving problems, or you have to do something. And I think the big difference all creative jobs are like that a bit, in compared to, for instance, if you work for an advertisement agency, a commercial agency, where it's all about money at the end. And the music business is definitely not all about money. Not in my area, because we get some money, but it's ridiculous compared to the big names, the real big shots. Yeah? So we're still in the music business and not in the money making business. And we always have been, actually. Even if like around 2000, when our name was really big, these 4, 5, 6 years, when it was really a huge hype around, like from 98 till 2003 or 4, even there we never really cashed in. Never really. So we kept it always low, and we're still doing it. But I think in this case, what I said before, the most interesting thing is that you just keep up with your love. That is the music, that you refresh yourself or renew yourself with that. And I think that's cool. That's something you can do until the end of your life.
And you've been always changing. Not only the partners you've been working with, but also the genre you're playing. Even though the downbeat was the leitmotif of your career.
The downbeat was at that time just something fresh for us, and something like a counterculture in the beginning. And it was the time where Massive Attack came out, and the Stereo MCs did already stuff before, of course, on a more commercial basis. Even Massive Attack, the English always did it much more commercial in a way, and we always, I think, we were just the strange guys from Vienna who built up something which is weird but new somehow. And then we switched over to drum and bass a lot after this downbeat thing. We played a lot of drum and bass when we were DJing, and then it switched over to Latin, and then switched over to more up-tempo electronic style, and that's what it is now. But what I try to do is, if the people are right, to combine these things, to still play mid-tempo, because you can play mid-tempo even in the prime time, if you do it right, and then do a bit like go up with the tempo, give more push. But it's definitely something that you tell a story. You tell a story with up and downs, and that's interesting. That's what I would expect if I would go to a DJ, because just the normal this is the regular thing. Yeah? And so I tried. It's not always possible, but ideally that's the best setup.
This strong will to change is a way to survive as an artist for you.
Change in your frame.
Yeah.
In your frame, because if you look at some like photo guys like Anton Corbin, who does the photos for Depeche Mode or whoever, and lots of other people like Metallica or something, he's Actually, he's not changing at all. He's always doing the same thing, and he's good because it's good. And or if you look at filmmakers, they have their certain style, and they just do it in their style again and again, like Jim Jarmusch, or look at Sofia Coppola or something. They have a certain language developed, and I think they're happy that they have developed this language, and they stay with that. And they change within the topic, but they stay in their frame. So what I mean is just it doesn't make sense to produce a dubstep album next week, because it would not be me. So just because it's because I think it would sell, that's the wrong approach. So I mean, change is good, but you have to stay yourself. That's what I think.
So it's not what people want to hear; it's what you want to do.
Not follow exactly what they want to hear. Perhaps rather listen to your own sort of voice, and if that's can be, perhaps it's the better approach. I think. Yeah, it is.
And you are a great flute player, and
well, so.
You have a great creativity yourself.
I used to play flute, yeah.
And have you ever received a proposal from a band to join a band as a steady member, as a flute player, in your career, in the early years? Maybe?
No.
No.
It's not good enough. No, I never was interested in that. Actually, we never.
In being in a band, no.
No, we never seen ourselves in this classical band setup anyway. And as what I do now with Tosca is the same. We're not a band in that sense.
Yeah.
We're more electronic experimental thing, whatever it is. But it's not a band with bass, guitar, and drums or something. And the singer comes on. It's always somehow more of a performance. It's more of a performance in that sense, and not a concert. So actually, we always try to make it a bit different, yeah, without being too difficult. Yeah.
And what's the most important influence in your formation when you grow up? Was krautrock? Was house music from?
Was very important, like all the Can stuff.
Yeah.
Can. Just listened to it like last 2 weeks ago. Like I did once a compilation of Can, because I got all the albums from Can from Mute Records around the time when he did the remix for the Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
There was one guy, and he just, and Mute did the distribution for England for all the Can catalog.
And was the tree in the cover of Tosca, Delhi album, a reference to the tree on Tagomago by
Not
Can?
really.
Not really.
No, it was a shot we did. We just went outside, countryside, did a photo shooting, and then this photo just was the best, and we took this one because it was the most absurd one, and it made sense for us. That's actually what we always do. We pick out, we have a certain idea, but then we just take the photo which is right. Like with the last Tosca album, we had a different kind of shoots, but then we took the one where the singer is just standing and the head is in the back. It's a projection actually from the live performance, and even if some people said, "No, I don't understand. Why don't you take your photo?" And we said, "No, we rely on our taste or on our decisions and not think too much what the people would think."
Why do you
think? Ken was a very big influence, and it's still fresh. That's great.
Yeah.
Ken is a very good example.
Great drummer and keyboard.
That stays for a long time.
Yeah, and the last is for the young DJ who are growing up now. And what do you suggest to them? Because there is a great deal of music now. What do you suggest to them to be constantly up to date?
You can't be. I mean, it depends on what you mean by constantly up to date. I mean, there's so much stuff coming out every day on Beatport that it's you have to spend a lot of time to filter all that out. So what I do is I just pick up information from loads of different sources, and then I pick out my thing, and that fits in my music taste. But I think that's what everybody more or less is doing. But it's all about more now about information, because in the days you used to go to a record shop and you speak to this guy, and then he gives you some records, and he gives you the rare records, which are not out. This sort of procedure. And nowadays everything's open. Everybody can have everything. So it's more about having the right information. Or you go to a club and you look at Shazam. Or, you look and grab. And
Just one more question. Why do you think German and Austrian musicians are so clever and has a lot of skill to do electronic music? There is a reason.
More Germany. I mean, it's Germany. They did it. They are the origin. I mean, Kraftwerk is from Germany, and in the term of original sort of electronic sound, that comes from Germany. And but I think what is a very good example for how the Germans adapted, for instance, dub reggae is all this, the basic German stuff, the rhythm and sound things that they did some years ago. This is a very good example how they were able to transform reggae, some black music, into a modern electronic context. Yeah, that's the stuff I really still like. That will last forever, like can.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.